Hey everybody, welcome to OVW No Holds Barred. Today we're joined by a man who's tearing up the independent wrestling scene, a true rock star inside the ring, carrying on the family legacy whilst carving out his own path in OVW. He's currently the media champion, the disruptor, the show stealer. He is flawless. Yes, he's brought the belt as well. This is Jake Lawless, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us, Jake. How are you?
Lewis, Foxy, I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me on here. Pleasure, truly.
Honestly, really cool to meet you, really cool to speak to you for the first time. I guess to begin with, for anybody who hasn't seen you wrestle before, really simple question, I guess, but how would you describe your style, both as a man and in the ring?
Man, it's still old school. I still love the slow way of doing things. The less is more, but I still like to hint a bit of the flashy and the flippity stuff. So it's kind of a mix of all, but I can still, I mean, from amateur style or the Greco-Roman throws, I could do it all.
Love
I
that.
was checking some of your stuff out, Jake, and I can see you got quite an innovative offense. There's a few little things coming up on some of the matches across the channels and YouTube, etc. So, is there any particular wrestling inspirations behind that? Is it more of a modern style, or have you pinched some things from the past?
I mean, I definitely, I mean, I love, Guerrero's, cheat and heel work, but still yet, Tracy Smothers was a big inspiration, just because, I mean, there's not a lot of, uh, what's the word I'm trying to look for? I don't want to say, well, yeah, just chicken shit heels,
Yeah.
and there's nobody that's willing to do that. Everyone wants to be Billy Badass, and pardon my language, but this is the best way of putting it. And I mean, that's kind of the way it is. But I'm still able to cheat and screw him out of the win.
You know, it's so cool you mentioned that actually because I remember growing up and that was one of the big spots I always remember as a kid was Eddie with the chair. He hit the chair on
Yes.
his knee, you know, and people remember that. It doesn't even matter. Like, it's chicken shit, you like you say, but at the same time, it's memorable, right? So
Oh,
that's the
100%.
goal,
And
right?
I mean, that builds the heat too. Oh, it's so perfect. It's just beautiful work, and you don't see much of it anymore like that.
True that. Yeah, you call yourself the rock star as well, right? Like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big classic rock fan.
so to that end, I guess if rock music's played a big part in your life, my question would be if there was like one song that would be a perfect walkout song for you, have you ever thought about what that would be if you had like any song that you could play as you walk out?
So, before I came to OVW and we weren't allowed to use copyright music, actually, there's two that really hit. The first one, is Party Like a Rock Star. Oh my God, who's he? Shot Boys. That's who, sings that. And then, the one I actually used for the longest and probably hit the best, was, Renegade by Styx.
Oh, right.
Yes. Oh, I loved when it drop. I'd have the kids scream same time it would in the song at the beginning. Oh, it
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Very cool. Very cool. And you,
I
sorry,
oh,
sorry, go for it,
as
Keith.
good as I was gonna say, I noticed as well on the entrance, you often coming out with your personalized chair. Is that
Yeah.
something you like to use to your advantage, or is there something behind that?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, especially now that I've customized it. Back in the day, I used to just always walk and bring out a chair, and I mean, obviously, stand up, bring it to the ring, and I'd have to sit there and wait on my opponent to come. Finally, I was like, I'm gonna bring a chair out so I got somewhere to sit. And yeah, I finally decided just to customize one, and it's hit a few people a time or two.
Nice.
Definitely to my advantage.
Chairs are useful. Chairs are useful. We talked about it,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Hey, so we were talking a little bit before we started up this interview, and you mentioned you grew up in a family that ran shows, right? So, how did that shape your early days? How did that family environment really, when you were growing up in wrestling, have an impact on you? Like, was it were you sold on this as a career from like being a young kid, or how?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, and at one point in time, it was a dream. Because I mean, back when I was really young, of course, we just always watched it Monday nights. It was the only reason we got to stay up past 8 o'clock. My mom was a single mother, and she'd go to bed early because she got to wake up early. So of course, me and my sister would always have to go to bed early. But Mondays we'd actually get to stay up and watch wrestling as a family. So it was always the coolest thing. And then, down the road, come to realize my uncle's a big promoter and been in the business since he turned 18 and dipped out of Iowa, went straight to California. Um, but oh gosh, I'm getting way off track now. It was early, I'd say it was like 13 or 12 or something like that. And I came actually down to Nashville, Tennessee at the fairgrounds, one of the shows my uncle was running. And of course, I was on the background side of things, but he was doing a raffle during intermission, and a little kid had come up and asked if I was one of the wrestlers. And the way he looked at me, even though after I told him no, he still had this like the role model look. He looked up to you, and that's what kind of inspired me. So at that point, it became a dream, but it was so far fetched. I mean, growing up in Iowa, just farm stuff, I was always doing blue collar work.
Mhm.
Uh, and to be honest, when it actually came push shove, it was like 2014 when I finally shot back down to Tennessee and I actually moved in with my uncle. It was actually an escape plan just to get out of Iowa and come down to Tennessee. But when I got here to Tennessee, my uncle sneakily was teaching me the whole backside of the business and pretty much, I mean, the ground up from promoting, sponsoring, posters. I was the first one I had hauled the ring there, set it up, haul it away after we tore down. First one at the building, last one to leave. But I was around a lot of old school veterans too at the time. So I was learning so vastly and so quickly too. I mean, just with great wrestling. And I mean, on the independent circuit, it's, I mean, truly a hard hit or miss on talent and stuff like that in a good show. But I was really blessed when I came into the business that way. And then, yeah, just one night we didn't have a referee, and my uncle called one of the wrestlers and told him, go get the whole get up. We'll put him in there. And they said, count three when we tell you. That was how it ended up starting. And of course, no one wants to be a referee. Everyone wants to be the wrestler, the big star. And yes, I think it was about 6 months after I had that first night of refereeing, I actually stepped through the ropes as a wrestler. So that was pretty epic, and that was kinda how I started into it.
So you mentioned there, right, about how when you get that look in a kid's eyes, like, I know exactly what you mean, like, that's a real drive, but first time versus, like, when that happens today, you're the media champion, now you got the belt on the arm and everything like that. If that happens today, do you still get the same feeling, or is it
Oh,
different,
it's
or
so much stronger nowadays
Oh,
too.
really? Nice.
Well, now that I'm so much older, I mean, I really see it, and I know the way it affects me. When I was 13 years old, I mean, I just thought it was cool because he fucking wants to be me. At this point now, I'm inspiring people to really change their lives, chase their dreams. They don't want to be me, but be the best version of themselves is the coolest thing.
For sure.
Knowing that any average Joe can do this if they really work for it. But too many people just don't have it in them. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot out. Shoot. I mean, you think about it, Saturday when I was coming back from Indiana, I didn't get back home till 4 in the morning. And, I got to wake up, go to church on Sundays type thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, Jake, actually on that point, so I'm an active wrestler over here in England, and we've had a lot of lads come over from the States over the years. And
Yeah.
one of the things I think that sometimes maybe some of the British fans don't always understand is how much travel you guys actually do over there in regards to shows. Like, it's interesting, some of your comments there, like, I've been in the car with some of the younger green guys now over here, and maybe like a 3-4 hour journey, and they're like, ooh, flipping it. But then like some of you guys, it's like 8-9 hours, right? Like, have you got any good tales from that or some of your commitment over the
True.
years?
So, probably the longest drive I've ever took, pertaining to wrestling, it was actually just shooting out to High Spots in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I had to drive all the way out there, pick up, pretty much just a whole truckload of gimmicks and drive all the way back, and it totaled 16 and a half hours, and I was probably there for a half hour, but I mean, it's nothing. I mean, still to this day, every Thursday when I shoot up there to OVW for our live TV show, it's 3.5 hours one way. And I drive up there and drive back the next day, or drive home the same night after wrestling, but I was used to it. And I even remember when I was shooting back to Iowa early in the career, I'd wrestle here in Gladeville, Tennessee, which is about 15 minutes from where I was living. I'd drive home after the show, get dressed, showered up, and then 12 hours back to Iowa and just drive straight through the night. It worked out pretty well. I mean, because I'd hit St. Louis, I go through there about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. The roads are completely empty. The city's lit up. It's beautiful and the smoothest time to hit that, actually. But I had it down to pretty good science. But I mean, I was always 3.5 hours is just a typical, I guess, uh, for, I mean, the average show, to be honest, especially where I'm at. But yes, most wrestlers, yeah, hour, 2 hours at least. I mean, a lot of people are local guys too that don't travel, but as a traveling one, I mean, it's nice. I like being on the road.
I feel like hearing you guys speak there, like just the fact of being on the road so common in this sort of job has got to add like a layer of difficulty. And I know it must be difficult to chase this dream, right? Like, so what's a match or a moment that fans might be surprised that was difficult for you to handle whilst you were in your career? Do you look back on difficult moments as things that help make you the guy you are right now?
Oh,
Or
100%. There's two big ones, and of course, both of them set me out for a good while. The first one was it was Gladeville, Tennessee. I actually broke my ankle one night in the ring during a match. The canvas had folded over my foot, and I went to go take the bump, and I folded it completely. Oh yeah, I ended up finishing the match real quick. Told him I was injured, and buddy helped me get to the back, and then I actually that night I went home because I did not want to afford an ER bill. I was like, probably just rolled it, I could kind of put weight on it. I'll be all right. Just, drink drug the night away or whatever. But yeah, the next day I went and I was driving with my left foot, dropped the father, or stepfather off, or father-in-law, sorry, off at his knee appointment. And then I drove myself to my doctor, cause that's just $25 copay instead of a couple $1,000 for an ER visit. And they're like, yep, it's broke. Now we're going to have to do, several $1,000 surgery. They ended up putting a plate and 8 screws, and it was one of those, I mean, it just sets you down and realize how quickly an injury can happen and just completely end a career. And you could be on the top or even just starting, and it's that. And of course, the other, one, was right off Netflix Wrestlers when I got busted. That one really set me down and changed, big aspect to me. But I look back, that's who I was, and it does make me who I am today. I'm in such a better place. Of course, wrestlers on Netflix didn't show the best side of me. Absolutely sucks there. But and at first, when I first watched it air, I bawled. I turned the episode off. It hurt. Because that's what everyone's seen of me, and that's what everyone thought I was. Still to this day, there's times where it's like, hey, is Jake doing something? And even when I'm completely sober, I still get the side eye weird. But I've started, and it actually hit after we did the WrestleCade panel or whatever out there in North Carolina. And that's when it really hit, and I started changing my view about that whole situation, because my story, and I actually had people coming up, how it helped them and it keeps them sober. I've got the coin in my bag too. It's a veteran's coin, and this guy was an old school vet, and he'd been struggling with opiates for years. Uh, but I'd seen the story and then seen the recovery part of it too, and really got to see it firsthand. And later down the road, he had hit me up and he actually gave me this coin. And he's an old school veteran, addicted to opiates, but now he's clean, sober, and he actually goes back and helps addicted veterans, I mean, get sober and stay sober. And knowing my stories helped that guy, and actually several others have come up with miracle stories as well. Knowing my stories helped them makes that bad image of me completely worth it.
That's seriously cool, man. And also the fact
Yeah.
that, like, now you're in a position, you got the belt now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'm back on top. I'm back to where I was. Literally the belt I had was the Southern Kentucky or Southern Country Boy Brewing belt, the blue one.
Right,
Uh,
right.
when I got arrested with it, of course they got, stripped of me and blah blah blah, went through several people. But it was like the belt was cursed for longest. Everyone kept getting injured. Crixus tore his bicep, and I think Tony Evans got injured from it, and then some other people. Of course, right before I came back, they did away with that belt, and that's where they brought in the OVW. Oh,
I
now
was
you can
thinking about it.
see. There we go.
There it
My
is.
media championship. But so it's still like I've got this same belt, but I've had a belt that's no longer even at OVW now, which makes it even all the cooler too.
100%. I was just going to ask as well. So that's the media championship. What do you think make that a media championship? That's a new title, right? You don't really hear that name too often. Media championship. What do you think makes that unique compared to like a traditional belt? What do you think? What do you want your legacy to be with that belt?
Uh, you know, if I had to say what I wanted the legacy to be, is the fact that it's like is becomes relevant. Someone wants to show up, see the media champion wrestle. And I mean, when you hear media champion, everyone thinks social media right away. And I mean, even like you said earlier, I mean, I do promote a lot on social media because nowadays age, a lot of it's on there.
Mhm.
Compared to like when I was first starting in the business and working pretty much directly for and under my uncle, I was taking 100 posters and 1,000 counter copies and going and hitting a whole couple towns for the show, the next weekend. But nowadays, if that's what I can to contribute so people know, and that's where I can connect. I mean, talk to a lot of fans, comment, post. I've had several message me, and I message back. Uh, but I mean, it's let them know. If they can't know, they can't find it, you can't get them out there.
What about OVW in particular? What is it about OVW that makes it a unique company to yourself and you being a part of it?
So, the first part that makes it unique is absolutely how it used to be literally what the Performance Center is now. That's where OVW was literally picking wrestlers out the hat. So I mean, besides prestigious history of it, and the fact, I mean, it's still there. I mean, the connection's there. Al Snow could pick up a phone, and I mean, Doug Basham, who's the head trainer there, for the roster. He's been down to the Performance Center doing several guest training spots too. So I mean, the relations are there, but it's what can you do for WWE to bring people in the door that you're doing at OVW? Can you do it on that bigger scale? And if you can, that's why you ain't there yet. So, I mean, it's a really good place to develop too, nonetheless. Even just in my side of things, I've watched a huge gain in my career and knowledge, but it's being around those people. Because, I mean, in the indie world, everyone knows it's a hard hit or miss with great shows just as well as promoters. And I mean, Al Snow's like still one of the best promoters as well. And they're getting rarer and rarer, but right before the first time I came to OVW, my uncle, Bert Prentice, by the way, is my uncle. Used to be Christopher Love back in the day, TNA relations, blah blah blah. Nonetheless, though, my uncle had actually personally hollered at Al Snow, saying, my nephew's wants to come up there, you give him a spot, blah blah blah. And he referred me to Adam Revolver. We set a day, and I came up, did really well, and the locker room was really welcoming. probably mostly because I was a good talent, not just some average Joe Blow. But I was a good worker and I took the stuff seriously. Um, but shortly after I started at OVW, my uncle passed away. USA Championship Wrestling were the whole beginning of my career. Besides, I did other shows and stuff, but the beginning and basis of my career was all at my uncle's show. Uh, and all of it was gone. So it was like I lost home, I lost the weekly shows that I always had, and I mean, I lost a big chunk of wrestling that fucking day 4 years ago, or 5 years ago or so. Uh, but OVW's kind of like that home now. I've got them people in the locker room that are leaders and good brothers too. I know several people in there. I mean, besides just crashing at their house or something like that when I shoot up there. I mean, they beef for their, you know, for me as much as brothers do. Uh, but yeah, it's home now for wrestling for me.
100%.
What would you say? I mean, some of the stuff you're picking up there for me, I can entirely relate. Like I spent a large number of years with all-star wrestling promotions. I'm not sure if you're aware of like Brian Dixon, and we've had a lot of the a lot of the UK European talent, like your William Regals and your Finleys and stuff. Over the years they've
Yeah.
Drew McDonald's, etc., have taken the pathway, but it's sometimes the people that you're working with, right, that make it the magic. It's it all makes the wheel go round.
100%, 100%. Because I've been in the locker rooms with, and it makes it indie crap night with horrible talent. And I've been in them locker rooms and it's just not the same. It sucks. I mean, yeah, it's nice being praised as, the big star talent or whatever, but sometimes just watching piss poorly trained wrestlers, and that's the way I'm putting it. I'm not saying green wrestlers, I'm saying piss poorly trained wrestlers. And it kills the spirit of it in a sense. And I mean, when I first started, top dogs and indie stars and legends that didn't make it over here in the States. Mike the Colorado Kid Rapata, Sean Schultz from TNA. Shoot, I've wrestled with Jake Lawless, Bill Dundee. I mean, I was on the road with Brian Christopher several times too. But just, the knowledge, and Chris Michael's another big one. But just the knowledge of working with them, against them, or well, still with them, but in the ring with them, or even outside the ring, I learned so much so quick just from being with talented people consistently. And that's, why I was so good so quick. And not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm a talented wrestler, I'd say. But for sure, it takes a lot.
Yeah, but the guys at All Star always had a similar drive and passion. Obviously, a lot of them went on to great successes, and obviously talks for itself, their accolades and reputation. I mean, in terms of the locker room at the moment at OVW, would you say the current roster and the current bunch, are they set for big things? Is things looking positive? Obviously, with Al Snow's and Doug Basham's involvement and the people that you're working with at the moment, do you feel like everything's moving in a real good direction?
Yes, overall, everything moving in a great direction. And Al Snow's literally one of those people that could probably polish poop and shine a diamond up out of it, and he truly can. But to be honest, there's some gems in that OVW locker room, but there's some piles of poop. And if that pile of poop can shine up to a diamond, but if it don't put no hard work being under pressure, it's not going to turn into a diamond, and it straight up won't. And there's a lot of workers that just won't put in the time and do the extra work. Literally every single Wednesday, for 2 hours, 6 to 8 o'clock, there is roster training. And you will not believe how many, the main roster, besides the recent trainees, graduate, there's usually only about 3 people off the main roster who's there. And a lot of them are local talent too, that are there in Louisville. And I do hit it as much as I can. Of course, mine's a 3.5 hour drive, but I'll shoot up there Wednesday nights. I drive 3.5. I get a train for 2 hours. I literally drive more than I get to train, but it's worth it getting that. I've seen my career, I mean, the stuff skyrocket. Just because I go to training, I learn the little details and they see it. They see the hard work. That's the people they want to push.
Yeah,
That's the people anyone will want to push. I mean,
for sure. There's so much to unpack there as well. Like you say, I think. Oh, one thing I'll say is on the topic of Al Snow being able to make incredible things out of a situation. So I was commentating on the show that Al Snow did in the UK this weekend, where Matt Riddle did a no-show, right? And if you read the articles, you would think it was the most chaotic scene ever. Al was back there, it was calm. It was like
yeah,
he'd seen it before. Like it was the perfect presence for that situation, right? Like,
yeah,
and everybody, all the talent smiled through that show. It was a great show actually in the end. And I do think it's because of veterans. It's because of like like the guys who've seen it before, who just made it a calm environment. So like everybody
yes.
wasn't panicking, right? And that's unreal. So obviously you're a talented wrestler. Like they don't give out belts for nothing, right? You've got it now, and like you're in OVW, you're really making a name for yourself. So my question to you would be: in the future, do you see yourself as, let's say, the face of OVW, or are you like more of a disruptor? Are you
I
trying
don't
to
know. I
knock the
mean, to
fades
be the
out?
face would be the top dog, and I mean, the top dog usually has the OVW national heavyweight title. And now, literally, I've had the old Kentucky Boy Bruin belt.
Mhm.
I've had the tag team champions. I now have the OVW Media Champion. So, a little too big for the Rush division. I'm not quite 169, so I can't hit that one. So it does leave, and of course, I mean, I could identify, but I ain't into that. So the women's belt's also off the line. The only other belt left to go for is that national title. And I
Well,
mean, Cal holds it, and Cal, I mean, is the face of OVW, but that's definitely the goal. I mean, who wants to just stay around and, not be there? But I mean, even when you say face of OVW this week, I'm in the main event. My face is the big poster or face on a poster. Who's
it's
really the
happening,
face of
man. Like
OVW?
if you look at every step you've taken, it's like this one and that one and that one. Like there is a path, right? You're following a path, and it's like,
Oh, 100%. And then when when I was spending from OVW, even when I came back, it's like I had to restart that path. I started shooting up to the weekly show, not wrestling, just shooting up, sporting, and trying to get some apologies in to, I mean, everybody that I needed to. We ended up actually calling a whole meeting so I could apologize to the whole roster and crew for my old actions. But I started having to come back. I didn't have to, but I did start coming back to training. I'd come up Wednesdays, rest for 2 hours. I'd stay the night at someone's house, and I'd stay there for the show, help set up, and blah 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 blah. Eventually, once I did get an apology in, and they see the work that I'm trying, I want to be back. Like this is what I want to do again. That's when I had that opportunity again. It was like I was restarting. It was like coming in. I wouldn't They always say they hate the word jobber, but enhancement talent is what I felt like, I came back as. And I felt they had a big story on their hands, big, huge comeback, finally coming back, blah, 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 from the wrestlers, Netflix, da, da, da. And it kind of seemed like they didn't know where to go with me when I first came back. And now it's like hey, we can do a little something with him. Oh, he's still that guy. Hey, he's really getting back into it. Well, let's see what he can do with this. And that's where I feel I'm at. Put the belt on me and let me show you what I can still do. Let me show you how I can bring better to this. I can put asses in seats, increase ticket sales. People will want to see, and I already know they want to. They want to see me get my ass kicked. They're hoping Dustin shows up this Thursday in this no disqualification match and beats me.
so I've got to ask you this. It's been really cool to speak to you. We're running out of time. I mentioned at the start we've got a limited amount of time, and
Right? Yeah, I
yeah,
feel it. I feel
I apologize, but I've got to ask you this because it's been really cool to hear about this. Like you said, you're in a main event coming up. You've got the belt now. It's an incredible redemption story already. If it ended today, it would be unreal. But when fans look back at Jake Lawless in 10 years' time, what do you hope they say about you?
That man always had time for any fan. That's what I truly hope. And I really take an effort to do that. It's not about wrestling to me to this day, but wrestling's given me a platform to change people's lives, truly inspire. And I mean, I have to several people, even all the way down to like a paraplegic guy. They consistently message me to this day when I put little motivational stuff on social media. Kids now want to be wrestlers or do sports or something better with their lives. And there's not one person I want to see that said, "Oh, Jake didn't have time for me," or "He's too busy and he had to run to the back," and stuff like that. That's the one thing that truly I don't want. I hope every single fan that's ever met me knew I took out the time to make that moment they had at wrestling special for them. Uh, and I mean, to this day, there's people across the United States that have met me, and they'll still shoot me messages on social media. I'll answer back as much as I can. But even at shows, the little kids having them little interactions, and I'm not a shy one. I will straight go up to you if you look like you're having a bad time or something. I will go up to you at Goofy just to get a smile, just to know your day got a little bit better because you see me. That's that's what I hope people remember by me. By flawless Jake Lawless.
It's a perfect sign off, man. That's really cool. It's really good to meet you, man. And I really enjoyed this talk as well. I feel like great worker, good heart, good guy on the way up. And I wish you nothing but the best. Honestly, it's been really cool to speak to you. Thank you again. Thank you.
Oh, Lewis, that was appreciated. I am super appreciative to be on here, both to you and Foxy. It was truly a pleasure, for real.
I really appreciate.
Cheers, Jake. Thank you.
Yeah. So if people want to follow you, because like I say, you promote the show and everything like that, where can people get you? Where's the best place to come and find you?
Yes, social media. I've on Facebook and Instagram. Those are the best two ways. Those are where I'm always putting the posters and posts. Of course, you can always go watch OVW Live Weekly, YouTube, Thriller. But on Facebook, it's just Jake Lawless. On Instagram, say @official Jake Lawless, and you'll see my picture. You'll be able to find me pretty simple. I'm sure you could Google my old mugshots and stuff too, but
They'll get you somehow. They'll find you. They'll find you.
all right.
All right, that's really cool. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody for watching as well at home. If you've enjoyed the episode, leave a kind review, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Come and find us. But thank you very much for checking us out. We'll be back again in 2 weeks with another episode of OVW No Holds Barred. Until then, take care.